I'm fortunate. I have private insurance. I'm able to get a hold of my medications. I'm able to get to my medical appointments. I'm able to do all of those things. So I am fortunate in that respect.
Our mission statement in the AIDS Healthcare Foundation is cutting edge medicine and advocacy regardless of the ability to pay. And that is something that those of us who work for the foundation believe in and live on a daily basis. And we will do whatever we can to make sure that nobody who is in our care goes without treatment. You will never walk out of an AHF office or an AHF pharmacy and not have access to care. We live it, we breathe it, that's what we do.
Well, I think the real barriers are two things. One, it's stigma. I think that is the biggest. I think that's the number one barrier. Is if I start going to treatment, is somebody going to walk? Am I walking into the doctor's office? Is somebody going to see me do that? So I think it's the stigma behind it, and two, I think it's the availability of treatment. I mean, of treatment centers, really, and especially medical personnel who understand the virus and understand what it's like to live with it. Because there are, in the bigger cities, there's a lot of access. But as soon as you start getting further and further and further out from the urban center, it's much more difficult for some people to get to treatment. So I think geography and stigma are the two barriers.
And they've devoted an entire side of AHF for expanding and specifically concentrating in the southeast, the rural southeast, of areas to move into, whether it's to open up clinics or pharmacies or just to mobilize testing and prevention.
But once you test positive for HIV, it's a lifelong illness. It's not curable. You have it. You got it.
But prevention is also looked at from a testing perspective, because the majority of HIV cases are being caused by people who don't know they're positive.
Once you know your status, then you can take care of yourself. It's just like when you get a common cold, or if you get a cough, then you buy some Robitussin or something to heal that. So then when you find out you're HIV positive, which is more detrimental because it could cause death, then you want to take care of that by taking medications. It's not so bad. The quality of life is still there. Many people think that it's a death sentence. Oh my God, it's over now for me. It's not. It wasn't for me. I've been living with it since 1994, and I know that I'm going to live for a long time. Or at least that's my intention.
And if they come back reactive, what I do is I try to get them into the proper care. And we also like to reiterate to them the importance of safe sex.
I also began to serious sort, which means that I was only going to have sex or unprotected sex with other positive people if I wasn't in a relationship.
So if they have unprotected sex, one partner, could cause them to become immune to the medication that partner is on, and they've never even taken the medication before.
If you're positive, it is not a death sentence, but if you don't get medical attention, medical treatment, you could end up very sick and have repercussions. I mean, I have from the 4 strokes, I've lost sight in my right eye, I've lost dexterity in my left side, and that's not part of AIDS, that's part of the infection that HIV caused.
Prevention and treatment is a concept that the Foundation at AHF believes that if we can prevent, that's a lot cheaper than actually treating someone who is or who has gotten to the point that they're extremely sick. and may need hospitalization. That's where it becomes really, really costly. If you can keep them on their medications and keep them adherent, then they're less likely to go into the hospital, which in turn accrues medical bills, etc.
First, we want to do the blood draw. The basics are a CD4 count, which measures the T cells. We explain to them the importance of the T cells. We want to know their viral load, so that way they know where they stand with the viral load.
There actually are people who, if their CD4 count and viral load are within a certain range, don't have to take HIV medications. And for those individuals, we still need to monitor their lab work, usually every 3 to 4 months, because things can change. So we want to get CD4 viral load counts every 3 to 4 months to monitor that, to see when it is appropriate to start care.
I have HIV. So now I had to learn to live with that. I've been off and on medications over the years. I have chosen at times not to take medications.
As everyone knows, HIV is no longer a terminal illness, but it is a chronic illness. It does require years and years of medication.
I think a lot of people don't realize that testing positive is a lifelong commitment to medications.
We used to start people on care immediately, and while it got the HIV under control, years and years and years of HIV medications has taken their toll on their bodies. So now we look at CD4 count over 500. We don't tend to start people on medications unless they're symptomatic or are asking to be on medications. Anybody that wants to be on medications needs to verbalize that with their physician, and that's something that they can determine as a team, knowing the side effects of long-term use.
It's a commitment. You can't just start medication, stop, take them when you want, don't take them now, take them later. No, it's a commitment. A lot of young people who are failing their drug regimen, who are failing to stay healthy, they do so because they're not adhering to their medical regimen. They take their pills one day, they don't another. And they develop a resistance. I think we made it too easy. We, the old guys, made it easy so that the young guys could have it easy. Just pop a pill a day. Well, sometimes, you forget to take that pill. Sometimes, I want to have that drink, or whatever reason, you just forget. You want to forget that you have HIV and you don't take your medications. But you can't forget. By not taking medications, the only thing that you're going to learn is that you're going to get sick. And from sick, you're going to get sicker. And then guess what? The old phase of AIDS comes back up. I don't think you want to go there. I don't think you want to see that.
And I take my word for it, because denial is not a thing for you to go through. You just need to accept everything and work and do take care of what you can.
Adherence tools they may need. We do pill boxes. We do the dose packaging where each day that you need to take each dose is in its own little packet, so you can, instead of carrying around bunches of pill boxes, you can just slip a pill box or a little packet of medications in your pocket. We try and do everything we can to make sure that we can assist people in being adherent with their medications.
Is take your medicine that your doctors give you. Be sure you're taking regularly what you need to take. Time of day, the first part of the day, and the last part of the day.
I am on a 1 pill a day regimen. I started HIV medication within weeks of me testing positive because I had a very low CD4 count. So it's important. And treatment is very, very important.
Medications are much better than they used to be. Some people are lucky enough to only have to take 1 pill a day, which is wonderful. That doesn't happen all the time. And there's, every drug has side effects that also may need to be addressed. So being a part and a vocal part of your healthcare team will help everyone know how best to treat those issues and if you're having them. And many times people who are having diarrhea or nausea from the medications will stop taking them when in fact we can treat that until you get over the side effects. Most side effects will tend to level off after a certain period of time.
If they're having any symptoms as to opportunistic infections that we need to deal with or side effects from the medications.
You need to be aware of any certain changes. You need to be able to communicate side effects, anything that's different, because sometimes it's nothing and sometimes it can be the sign of something much bigger.
My life has been so much better since I've been on this medication for the last 3 years now. They've had to change it once or twice. But I found out that's all the way it goes.
We have lab tests that we can do now that we didn't have several years ago that can actually tell us what medications the virus will respond to, and that's been very helpful in making sure that people take medications that will in fact control their virus.
You'll start treatment when you're ready. I was ready after a couple weeks because it was either I don't start treatment or I progress and I get worse and I get really, really sick. So you'll know when you're going to want to start treatment, but always work with your doctors.
It's very important for clients to be an important part of their healthcare team.
Be an active member of that medical team, because your doctors are going to guide you through the process. But it's so important for you to be active with it. Talk to your doctor. Make sure you're asking all the right questions. Become educated about the disease. Become educated about your own health. And really scope that out.
We do encourage patients and clients to take a leadership role in their healthcare. It's your body, it's your responsibility, and those of us in the healthcare field just think of us as part of that team with the individual actually being the leader of that team. You need to have a relationship with your case manager and your pharmacist and everybody that's on the team to know what's going on with your body.
I have a wonderful team of caregivers. I have a wonderful team of medical professionals that I see.
Elton John, I love you, and I love the work that you do. Keep up the good work.